here we are again, another update. A lot of people have been asking for it and I've been trying to get around to it. So what I wanted to do was convert it to a replica of the Force Awakens lightsaber, because that way I don't have to get the double red button on the top and the bottom. It already has the glass eye on the bottom here. This one does have 7 T grips. On the Force Awakens ones it has 6. So I was hoping I could maybe heat these up and sort of take them off. Let's get a look inside here. Once I got a look inside, you can see there's these plastic parts on the inside. I'm pretty sure what that is there was slots cut into the hilt and the T-grip plastic was melted through and then kind of pressed inside to hold it. So that kind of ruined my hopes for taking off an extra T-grip and then respacing all of them. So in the last video I kind of left it empty. I left the hilt empty, nothing inside, and what I actually went and did was the LED strips here and cut off all of the lighting systems except for 2 LEDs. I found 2 LEDs was good enough. See, as you can see in there, I've got 2 LEDs attached. The rest I kind of just took a chance and snipped them off, and it turns out that they still work. But see, they still light up there. I kind of just didn't want to display it like this with just a hole at the end of it. So what I did is went ahead and took the blade that was first installed, cut off about 1.5 inches, made my own blade plug. So this is what I used to make my own blade plug. I got the circular metal part from an old shaver. This is it here with all the pieces taken off. And then I took a 5/16 inch bolt and then cut off about 3/4 of an inch from the base to the end. And then in the middle there is a tiny little washer that I found that fit around the 5/16, and just epoxied everything together just like that. And this is the piece of the blade plug. On the inner white tube I recessed a little bit so that the shaver piece can sit inside. Just epoxy everything together and that's what you get. So inside of the blade plug around the LEDs there was some styrofoam here, a little bit of soft styrofoam. So what I did was I put this inside around the LEDs just to kind of help it with the lighting a bit. So it is kind of a snug fit. I did have to sand around the edges of the plastic, and once that's pressed in all the way there, this is what we get. Now I did look online for other blade plugs that I can buy. Figured if I can make my own, I probably should, and that's what I did. So this is the effect that we get when we turn it on now. Now I noticed on the inside, on the top of where the red screw is here, there's a little hole right there, and that's kind of where this top screw sticks through. Now I have mine loosened a bit because if I tighten it all the way down, you can see the screw pushes right through the hilt there. So what I'm thinking is, from some saber websites, you can order a red button that's kind of just one solid piece and kind of just twist it on there yourself. Now this doesn't really work because they're both separate. Okay, so while I have this screw loose here, this is the blade that it came with. So you can see where I cut off the 2 inches here. What I'm able to do is squeeze that in there right until it stops. It'll hit one of the pins that went right through the plastic on the bottom, but the thing is when you light it up, the light pretty much only goes up to here, and then the rest is all the plastic. I think if you wanted to, you could get like a type of flashlight or LED system or something you can put inside the blade here if you want to use it for cosplaying later on or something. And then once you would have the blade inside, of course you would tighten this top screw, and that would help the blade stay a little bit more secure. I wouldn't duel with it by any means, but it would just be cool to have for cosplay. So more on the conversion that I was gonna do. I ordered in connector board here that would go inside of the bubble strip. Now this is the connector board from the Force Awakens. The difference being, of course, these edges are rounded and in the Empire Strikes Back the corners are sharp. I don't know why there's a difference. Another thing I got was a different type of D-ring. This is the D-ring that they use in the Force Awakens and Empire Strikes Back, and this one here is more centered. Now these two I've ordered, I can't remember where I ordered from. I'll put the link in the description below. Now one more thing you might notice, the clasp. The clasp I actually turned around. Originally in A New Hope, it's on the left side, and then in every other movie, Empire Strikes Back and The Force Awakens, it's on the right side. One last thing I did is over top of the speaker, there was a piece of plastic with holes drilled through it. I actually cut away the plastic because I figured it was hindering the sound a little bit, and by cutting it away, I think in my mind it was a little bit louder than it was first brand new. One more thing here, I made this out of a I'm not sure, it's just junk laying around. I cut a piece of wire, bent it a bunch of ways so that it holds my saber like that. And one last thing here, the display case. I picked this up at the arts and crafts store. They had a framing department, and I found this inside there. Actually fits the hilt perfectly. So this is how I display it in my living room. It's kind of like that. I wish I could tilt my camera. This is as low as my tripod goes, but you kind of get the idea. It's got the mirror back here. It's got open sides, open top. So that's my New Hope lightsaber hilt. I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and take off these T-grips because I think it might be a headache, and I'm kind of worried that I'd ruin it. So I'm just gonna leave this whole thing as it is. And what I'm gonna do with these two pieces here, I think I'm just gonna try and build well, not try, I'm actually want to really build a whole new one. This lightsaber was a lot of fun and it kind of got me pumped to want to build my new one from a Graphics replica. So what am I gonna do with this? I've considered selling it. I'm considering keeping it. Maybe I'll put it up on eBay and see if anyone will take it. So the soundboard still works, it still clashes. If I do sell it, I will sell it with the case. I'll sell it with the little stand. Maybe I'll come up with something else. I'll definitely sell it with the blade plug because that was pretty easy to make. But for everyone who watched the first video, who commented the first video, gave it a like, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. If I do make a whole new lightsaber, I'll be sure to be making videos on that with progress. Hopefully you enjoy this one. Hopefully it answers all your questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment. I also had some updates on my Instagram. I'll link that on the bottom as well. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.